Good evening, friends. Yeah, Anita ma'am, please carry on.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sunanda ma'am. Good evening, everyone. We would like to wholeheartedly welcome each one of you for the session on for the 93rd session on Johari Window Psychological Tool for Self Awareness by our honorable resource person, Mrs. Shamla J. Sharma ma'am, who is the founder of Progressive Minds Training Academy and Healing Center. And this is on behalf of Manasa Chubakara Mind Care Center in association with Yellow Pond Counseling Center, Madurai and India, Hyderabad, Forest Creative Arts Studio, Punjab, Sri Deepthi Counseling Center, Hyderabad, Clover Learning Center, Hyderabad, Srisha Counseling Center, Kozhikode, Mind Style Hub of Kolkata. And an introduction to our resource person, Mrs. Shamla Jairam Sharma is the founder of Progressive Minds Training Academy, healer, life and wellness coach. Shamla Jairam Sharma, ma'am, comes with a 41 years industry experience. She has been in the training domain for the past 19 years. Ma'am is a neuro-linguistic programming master trainer with NFNLP USA, a certified soft skills trainer, pranic healer, yoga nidra trainer. She is also an advanced practitioner of law of attraction and Hippo, and she is under supervision for transactional analysis. She conducts workshop on NLP, emotional freedom technique, chakra balancing, and meditation. She has been practicing yogasanas from her college days and is Kriya Yogi for the last 12 years. She engages in corporate training with topics like change management, interpersonal skills, leadership and behavioral skills, and selling skills. She has trained more than 26,000 participants on various topics. And you can follow her on YouTube channel in her name. She is a fellow of Insurance Institute of India. With that short introduction, a very, very warm welcome to all of you and to our resource person today. And the floor is yours, ma'am. Over to you. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Anita, so much for the lovely introduction.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. And thank you to Manas Subakara, Yellow Pond, and all the other organizers and all the participants who are there here today. My topic is Johari Window. So before I start, some of you may be aware, some of you may not be aware. So just wanted to know how many of you are aware. You can put it in the chat box also. Or maybe you can raise your hand or say thumbs up. Okay, so I see that some of you are aware. Yeah, a lot many, I think. Okay, great. So let me now get started with the PPT presentation. 1 second. One second. So is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So I'll make it full screen. Slideshow. Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So I'm getting started with this Johari window. This model was developed by two psychologists, Joseph Luft and Harry Ingham. Uh, that is why the name, both of the name put together became the Johari window. So what is it about Johari window? It's a model which is used to enhance the individual's perception on others. So basically, how you perceive others or how others are going to perceive both will come here. It is based on two ideas. That is, the trust can be acquired by revealing information about you to others and learning yourselves from their feedback. So essentially, when I reveal my information, when they get to know more about me, then what happens is that there is a trust created, there is a better communication. And also, if I have to improve myself, I had to take the feedback from others for us so that all of us are on the same page. There is a better communication. Like if you take at your home family scenario, when each other know about the family members should be knowing so many things about each other, there has to be better communication. Or if you take in a corporate world where there is a group existing, so when the group members, if they have to work together, it is essential that they know each other, and so the working becomes easier. And each person is represented by the Johari model through 4 quadrants or window panes. So it is either you can call it as 4 quadrants or window panes. Each 4 window signifies personal information. So what are we going to be seeing there? Personal information, feelings, motivation, and whether that information is known or unknown to oneself or the other. So certain information may be known, certain information may be known to me, certain information about me may be known to the others, certain information both of us don't know. So these are the way that we are going to see the Johari window. So we can use it to compare, to what is my strength and what is my weakness, also to how others perceive me. It's not only that personally I may be having an idea about my strength and weaknesses, but it is also very important that how others are perceiving me and how do they view me, what is their opinion on me. So this is the 4 quadrant you can see, known to self. So if you see, first is the open area. If you can,
Shamla ma'am,
yeah,
we are not able to see the slides in coordination with your, narration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now can you see?
Yes, we can see now.
Okay. So if you see this, the first quadrant is open area. So when we talk about open area, first is that it is known to self and known to others. So when information about me is known to me also and about me it is known to others, then we call that area as the open area. We'll be going through examples also, so you will have a better idea. Then if I say that hidden area is something which I know, but I don't want to tell everyone, or I have not told as of now. So I know this information about myself, but others do not know. So the second quadrant is here, known to self and not known to others. Now here, this is the blind spot, which is something that I'm not aware. It could be my anger, it could be the way I react, or it could be something positive, not necessarily negative. So which is that I'm not aware of this quality or this strength about me or the weakness about me, but others are able to see that. So not known to self but known to others. The fourth one is neither I know it nor the others know about it. So this is how we are having this 4 quadrant. So can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is visible, 4 panes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So the information transfers from one pane to the other as a result of mutual trust. So if I say that whatever now, if I have, they know information about me, and then there is a trust forming because of that, then what happens is that this particular window, whatever is the information now I have gained, is going to have its effect on the second, third also. So we will see how it is going to have, how it will affect the other windows. So when we talk about open self area or arena, the information about the person, his attitudes, behavior, emotions, feelings, skills, and views will be known by. So I am aware about my positive attitudes or my negative attitudes, behavior, emotion, feelings, skills, everything, right? It is equally known by others also. Then only it becomes an open area. So this is the area where all communication will happen. And the more this arena is becoming more and more larger, the relationship will be very dynamic, will be very effective here. So in order to have a great relationship, it is very important that the open or self area gets extended or occupies a major space in that 4 square. Feedback solicitation is a process. So I can also, what I can do is that I can ask for the feedback from others for me to ensure that I improve, and what are the things that I need to work on, right? What are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, I may be knowing, but when the other person tells, when I take the feedback from others, this can happen only if there is an understanding and listening to the feedback. So I should also be willing to listen to the feedback. Sometimes we are not very open to the feedback. So we should be willing to listen and understand what the other person's perspective about us. In that case, the open area can be increased horizontally, decreasing the blind spot. So what will happen is the blind spot will decrease slowly. So the size of the arena can also be increased downwards, and thus by reducing. So if I increase my open area, it helps in reducing the hidden and unknown or even the blind spot. All this can be reduced. So what is the second? It is called blind self or the blind spot. So information about yourself that others, like I said, somebody may be able to see that I'm showing my anger, or I'm reacting in a particular way, or I'm motivating someone, but I'm myself not aware that I'm doing all these things. I may be a good administrator, but I'm not aware that I'm a good administrator. Others are able to see that, So they may, and others may interpret yourselves differently than you expect. So based on what they can see, their way they behave with me will also change. The blind spot is reduced for an efficient communication through. So if I seek feedback, my blind spot I can reduce, because others know about me. They are seeing me in a different light. I am thinking about myself in some other way. So when I seek feedback and I'm willing to listen, automatically my blind spot gets reduced. The third one is hidden area or facade. Not all the information we would want to reveal to people, especially if you are a newcomer, there may be so many of your past experiences. You may be having certain feelings. That could be you are scared of certain things. You have your own secrets. So I may be keeping it to myself. There is a possibility that because of that, the relationship is getting affected. So once I slowly start opening up, of course, here one has to be careful on what information you would want to reveal. Naturally, there are a lot of personal information which I would not be willing to reveal, but something which is going to have a binding on the relationship, which can allow us to improve further and does not do any harm to that person, I mean to the self. Like if I'm going to reveal certain hidden things about me, it should not be going against me also. So when the hidden area also gets reduced, then the dynamics of the relationship is much better. Now, what is unknown area? Which neither I am aware nor the other person is also aware. Both of us are not aware. So supposing like a person, recently we had a TA offline class we had, and we all went for a dinner after that. Now here what has happened is that one of the person whom we were always seeing as a person who would not open her, because in the TA class it is a 2 days continuous class where when it is offline, she would not open her video, and she'll keep coming going in between. So we were not very close to her, or none of us were aware about her capabilities. But when we saw her operating on the day of the dinner, organizing with the hotel staff, and the way she was getting everything, ordering everything, and also even she was surprised that she normally remains very quiet, and we also found out a new thing about her. So unknown area, if we get the information, it could be some great talents that is hidden, which suddenly comes up because of certain things you do and which was hitherto not known. Then it leads to a better communication, and it will allow to decrease the unknown area. Is it clear till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what are the development actions we can take, right? So like we said, in the open area, if we keep discussing, it is about the information of all the team members and what we agree, what we do not agree, how do we go ahead. So that is the development discussions happen there. If I want to reduce my blind spot, I have to seek feedback so that people, the qualities, it could be negative or positive, whichever I'm not aware of, but others are able to see me. If I seek proper feedback from there, then that spot gets reduced, again increasing your open area. Share thoughtfully is what is your hidden area. Like I said, not necessary that we share all of our personal information. Certain things which can improve the relationship and which doesn't harm the person who is sharing can be done here. Again, then your open area gets increased. Fresh challenges are because it is an unknown person, like a person who has suddenly come, a new joinee, or so a lot of things will be unknown. The unknown to the self also, unknown to the others also. So these are the development actions which we'll be taking. Now here, if you see, open area is very less. Blind spot is also very less. You can see hidden area slightly more, and unknown is very large. So I'm taking an example here. Sumati got a job in an organization. Now she's just joined and her co-workers hardly knew anything about her. And in this context, so naturally the unknown and hidden areas will be larger and the open area will be small, because one is we do not know anything about her. So, and she has not revealed anything to us. So hidden is also more. And since she has recently joined, neither we know about her anything, neither she is, has told us anything, or she herself may not be aware of so many things here. So as the others don't know much about her, blind spot also will be smaller, because she has just joined. So people have to observe her, get to know her, to know what is her strength, what is her weakness. So this is how initially it will be. This is what is shown here in figure 1. So the open area represents the thing that you know about yourself and that others know about you. So if generally in open area, it is the information is available to self and to others also. So what kind of information? Behavior, knowledge, skill, attitude, and some public history also. Now, when I look at figure 2, the ideal Johari window has a large open area. This is because in general, the more that people know about themselves and about others, the more productive, cooperative, and trusting they will become when they start working together. So let's look at that. So this is the figure 2, where you see that open arena has increased, right? Now, through the feedback Sumitra got from her co-workers, she could perform well in the office, and her real capacity could be obtained as a result of an effective interaction among the colleagues. So this will ensure that the blind spot also, if you see the space has reduced because she's taking feedback, and here she has told about herself also. So this is how we can understand that how the open area increases. Anyone wants to ask anything?
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can we say the more authentic a person is, this known area increases?
Yeah.
Okay.
Authentic, yes. See, the trust develops only when people, when I start communicating to you, the other person is accepting you in your, what are they accepting about me? It's my skill, attitude, my capability, or my total personality. So it's an authentic information that is allowing us to increase the open area there.
So, yeah. So the more authentic a person is, the trust is more in that case.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm giving out false information, someone may be able to make out at some point of time, right?
Yeah.
So the information has to be authentic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Blind area represents things about yourself that you aren't aware of. So you are
Madam,
now blind. Yeah.
The unknown area has come down very quickly.
Okay, so it is because here we are focusing here on the open arena here. Okay, so that is why this looks smaller, that's all. But the idea is to increase my open area. So take it as that way. The focus here is that I'm increasing my open area.
Okay. Okay, madam. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Sangeeta wants to interact, ma'am.
Yeah,
Sangeeta.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, so the ideal Johari window should look like a more expanded first arena. Open arena should be more expanded vertically as well as horizontally, right?
Yeah.
That is the main goal of it. So,
yeah, that is the main goal of it. That my open area has to be larger than any of the other three.
So how do we do
that? It will happen progressively only, right?
We have to facilitate that by asking questions, or does it have any specific?
Okay, so can we move little ahead so that we will know it?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Are you able to see this now? The PPT here like this? Okay, fine. So the blind area represents. Yeah, tell me.
If possible, if you can expand on the advantages or disadvantages of having a more open area.
We will come to it slowly, one by one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the blind area represents things about yourself that you aren't aware. So blind area is something that others are able to see me in a different way, but I am not able to see. Like it could be how I am reacting specifically when I am in anger or when I am stressed out, or it could be also that, I have this capacity to motivate others, or I have a very good administrative capacity, which I'm not actually aware, but others are seeing that, right? So when the idea of speaking feedback is that whether whatever they want, how they perceive me, if they are perceiving me as a negative person, right? Or they are perceiving me as a positive person, it will help me. So when I seek feedback, when I talk to them only, they will tell me about that. So I have to solicit feedback. It's not that it may not happen that people will just come and talk to you. So we will have to solicit the feedback for us to, ensure that the open arena is getting more expanded. So, for example, you may not realize that you are a great listener also, that could also be that I'm not a great listener. So when others point out only, now I know that, okay, I have to be a good listener also. It can also reveal deeper issues such as feelings of incompetence or anger that you have been up to now, that what is my feeling of, probably I'm incompetent, or how I, portray my anger, but others are able to sense in that. So when I seek feedback, unless you seek feedback, people may not come and tell you. So seeking feedback is very important here. Then this blind area can get reduced. I think I'll have to go back and present it. This slide is not. Okay. One second. I'll just come back. Okay. Yeah, are you able to see now? Are you able to see?
Yes.
Yes.
A small blind area indicates that you are aware of how your behavior affects other people, whereas a large blind area suggests that you may be naive or even deny. So when my blind area is very small, means it indicates that, actually I am, that there is a lot of coherency, that there is a synchronization happening, and that there is a good communication. But when my blind area is large, it means that I may be in denial about a lot of things about me, and I'm not a receptive person and not willing to take a feedback in whatever way. It could be about my anger, it could be about my listening skills, or it could be about my attitude. A large blind area could also mean that your colleagues are keeping what they know about you to themselves. It could be also that the colleagues are not revealing. So if we want the blind area to reduce, sometimes they may come and tell you, but that is why we say that go and solicit the feedback. So whenever we are no one works at their best when they are in the dark. So it's important to reduce the size of your blind area. Only when you reduce the size of your blind area, that would be a good team, spirit, and the team can function very well. So the third, hidden area. The hidden area represents things that you know about yourself, but that you keep hidden from others. So like I said, I would not want to share all my private feelings or a lot of things about me or my personal life. I would not want to reveal there. Sometimes even professionally, I may not reveal because it could be embarrassing or vulnerable, or I may have other things which I think that it may harm me. So if it is not having any bearing on my work, then I can, if it is withholding is fine. But if it is having a bearing on my work and certain information is required, if I share that information, it is only going to improve the relationship for all. It is going to be beneficial for all and self. Then it is ideal that we reveal those information.
So it could also mean that we should have strong personal boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries, of course, is required. Without boundaries, if you do not have boundaries, or if you are into pleasing others, or if you are, always working hard for others, that's not, you have to put the boundaries. Personal boundaries are required. At the same time, whatever is needed for the group to function very well, we can come out with those, we can share, or we can reveal those information.
Yeah, it should be on considered choice base.
Yeah, if I feel that, if I'm holding certain information personal, if it is going to harm me, come what may, I may not reveal that, right?
Yeah.
So that much boundary or that much permission I give to myself about not crossing those boundaries or keeping certain things with me, which I feel is important for me, not to reveal.
Sure.
Unknown area. So the things which are unknown to self as well as to others, maybe I have some great abilities, but I'm, like I said, I'm not aware, or somebody else is also not aware. Certain times, when you have a group work or certain person is assigned a certain job, then only we come to know that this person is so great. Till that time, the talent would not have got exposed at all, So here, the information is not known to both. To the self also it is not known. To the other person is also it is not known. A larger unknown area may just be a sign of youth or inexperience, but it can also mean that you need to work hard on discovering and releasing new information about yourself. So I have just joined the job. I'm not where, I don't have that much experience. So in that case, what I can do is that as I gain my experience, as I work hard, as I reveal more information about myself, the unknown area will get reduced. So the quadrants can change size over time. So initially, when somebody is joining in, I may not be revealing about, they don't know at all about me. So the open area itself is going to be very small. But as we start functioning with each other, get to know each other, each person knowing the group, other team members, as well as when we start interacting with each other and work efficiently, or when there is a trust building up, when there is a cooperation, when there is a coordination, that's when what will happen is the open area may increase. it would ensure that the other quadrants are getting, the size is becoming less. For example, telling your team about an aspect of your life that you had always kept hidden would decrease your hidden area and increase your open area. So something which you had kept hidden within yourself, fearing, or it could be out of fear, it could be out of personal reasons, or it could be also for some professional reason that you had not shared certain information. Now, when you share it, what will happen is your hidden area becomes slightly reduced and your open area becomes more. So how to use Johari window? So to use the Johari window, one would look at a list of characteristics written down by each. So supposing there are a group of people, right? So what we can do is that, what are the things that, that say in a group there are 5 people, asking each one to write about the self. Each one is going to write about the self. It could be some adjective, it could be some personality, either characteristics of your personality. It could be like, when I say adjective, it could be kind, angry, beautiful, friendly, all the personality also, whether I'm a friendly person, whether I'm a strict person, whether I'm a lenient person, what kind of a characteristic, whether I'm a person who's very jovial, who is a very warm person. So what I know about myself, I write there, right? The others are also going to be writing. So first, if I have to increase my open area, what will happen is the peers would be given the same list of characteristics and asked now whatever I have written, I will give it to my peer and say that, do you agree with what all I have written about myself? So whatever they select and whatever both are agreeing upon that, then the open area gets increased. I would have written so many things and I think I am so and so. For the open area to increase, both of us have to come together on one page. Both of us would agree, yeah, these are the characteristics which I agree with whatever you have written. Whatever is not written is not coming in open area. Only when the peer also agrees with this whatever is the selected by the peers based on what I have written about myself, then my open areas will increase. So this demonstrates what actions, behaviors, and characteristics are now public knowledge. Now, naturally, it is known to everybody. Is it clear here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The characteristics that are identified by one's peers but not by themselves will go into the blind spot quadrant. Now, I am not aware that these are the things about myself, but someone has identified about me, right? Like I'm a person who reacts very badly, or I'm a person when I am stressed out, I may be making a lot of mistakes. When I'm anxious, I get, very upset or my mood goes off. So these are the things which others have observed about me and I don't know. So that is my blind spot. This quadrant is especially useful for increasing. So when others tell me, right, then only my self-awareness will increase. Oh, that this is how others are perceiving about me. Something I am aware about myself. But if I have to increase my awareness, I also have to listen to others about, take their feedback. How it's not only about how I perceive myself, but it is about how others perceive me, right? It gives insight into what others think about me, right? And it most accurately describes the dissonance in perceptions and inform. So it is giving me an idea that these are the things, if you work upon, then probably there will be a better coordination. It would also help me to form, that, like we say, a 360-degree acceptance would happen when I work on my blind spot also. The adjectives that are identified, now I have identified certain things for myself, but not by any peers. Go into the hidden area section, right? I have identified, but not any so nobody knows about all these things. Only I have written it. So now actually it was a hidden area. When I have written it down and others don't know at all, then it has gone into hidden area. Sometimes someone might actually want to keep these characteristics to themselves. So sometimes I may not even tell them. I would want it to be only with myself. I feel it is very personal, and it is, I would want it to be hidden because it is still very useful to me. Then only if I want to divulge, whatever I want to divulge, in order to ensure that there is a trust building happening, provided I keep my boundaries. At the same time, I give myself permission to share certain things, ensuring that, again, why are we looking into all these things is increasing our self-awareness, increasing the dynamics in a relationship for better, how the, in a corporate, how the team would function together, and in a family also. If all of us are going to be on same page, know about each other, then only, and when we are willing to listen to how we need to change or what we need to change, then probably there is a better coordination and cooperation at home also. The rest of the characteristics that no one selects will go into the unknown. So this was, if these are the positive characteristics in this quadrant that you wish you embodied, it is useful to know that there are areas you need to work on. So one is that I have a positive thing, and one is that if I have a negative thing. If there is something negative, then probably I need to work on it. If there is something positive, then it is great. So when we combine all the 4 quadrants, it gives someone a comprehensive understanding of themselves and how people perceive them. So it is basically about how am I. It is not only that what I think about myself, how people perceive me. Like I always feel that to an extent, of course, everything that others, how they perceive me, I may not be able to change. But essentially, if you look at from the angle of how people perceive me, like especially if with our children, if we want to have a good relationship, it is not what I think about that I am doing. It is how my child perceives me, and whether I'm able to convince him, build a trust, build a better relationship there. So looking at how they perceive me is very important, which allows me to then, if I'm willing to change, it leads to a better relationship. So this will ensure that the open area becomes more and there is a better group dynamics. To increase the size of that space, good communication and cooperation is required, which enables more efficient intergroup development. Only when I increase my open area quadrant and there is a good communication, there is an effective communication, how I articulate things, when we are cooperating and collaborating together, then...
Can I come in, please?
Yeah.
So is this about organization development and learning?
It is also organization. It is also about yourself. It is also about in a family. You can apply it anywhere. It is also, if I want to increase my self-awareness, I can consult my friends. I can consult my family member. If I'm working, then I have to consult, then it becomes a binding on the how I'm interacting in the group outside of that also.
Yeah, so this is like having your locus of control shifts to outside. You're being controlled by the outside.
Locus of control.
So
okay.
You need yourself.
See what I can control and what is outside of me, how much I can control. What is in my control, first of all. Like certain things may be in my control. If I can bring a change on that it is fine. Now, when what is about, when you talk about what is my locus of, what is under my control, what is under your control, can you tell me? What is under your control?
Myself, first of all.
Yeah, myself means no. When you say myself, can you give a better example of that, or can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, what is my identity? What are my values? What are my norms? What are my beliefs?
What are my feelings?
What are my thoughts?
Yeah, correct. So that is under my, first of all, that is under my control. Nobody can have control on my feelings. Now, there are 2 things on that. Now, I have control on my feelings because the way I react to certain things. Like if I'm angry, It is under my control. How do I respond to a situation? If I'm going to respond badly and the other sees it and I'm not willing to change that, then it is not going to increase your open arena. Do you understand? Are you getting that? How I behave with myself?
Yeah, I
What is
mean,
my attitude?
no, let me
There is
more that
a, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Can you please tell me again?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
please carry on, ma'am. At the end of the session, we can interact.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So what are the goals of Johari window? You can take it as advantage also, right? It helps the individuals and teams in the following ways. By building trust with others through sharing information about yourself. So only when I share certain things about myself and how we will come to go. Improving your own self-awareness by discovering what other people think about you, your strength and your weakness, and comparing this feedback to the perception you have about yourself. I may be thinking, that I am someone who is very friendly person, but the other person feel that I'm an arrogant person or I'm not a person who is very friendly. So how do I change that or bring about a change in that other people see me as warm or friendly? I actually don't mean to be rude. I'm actually not even a rude, but probably the way I talk, my body language or my expression, something is giving them it could be my own anxiety, my own fear, which is not allowing me to express myself. So when I take feedback from others and start working on myself, then my self-awareness also increases, right? So the best part is that how do I gain? I gain in my self-awareness because somebody is telling me that this is the way we are perceiving you. It could be wrong, right? But something which is under your control to change, you can change. I cannot change the outer environment of some rules and regulation which government has put on me, right? But I can change the way I behave, my attitude, the way I talk. Maybe I can improve my communication, the way I articulate things. So this is how my self-awareness will increase when I start taking feedback from others, improving communication and team interpersonal relationship. You can also use it to develop greater self-awareness and team awareness of different people's characteristics. So self-awareness and team awareness, both ways. Of different people's characteristics, what are their preferences, their abilities, as well as their strengths and weaknesses. So this can ensure that there is a rapport, that it allows in loyalty and understanding, loyalty building and understanding. You can create your own Johari window by following these 3 steps. First, identify your personal characteristics. Then you define your goal. And finally, open up and ask for feedback from others. So this is again one way of how you can open up on your, increase your arena of open area, how you develop your self-awareness more. The more you share your thoughts, feelings, opinions, the more your open area expands vertically and shrinks your hidden area. And the more likely is that people will understand, accept, and trust you. When we say that, of course, we are taking care of our boundaries and we are giving permissions where it is required for us to, we can reveal. Yeah. So I'll stop sharing. So this is what is the Johari window. Yeah. Now let us come to the.
Yeah, ma'am. It was a wonderful session. We thoroughly enjoyed how we can create self-awareness. You beautifully mentioned.
Thank you.
Yeah, friends. So you can interact with ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. I wanted to ask when we are seeking feedback. Okay, and if there is suppose I am seeking feedback with my colleagues as well as within my family. Okay, and in open arena, I have mentioned myself as a very interactive person, but my colleague also feel that I'm interactive. But when I'm taking that feedback at home, it comes that no, I am more of an introspective person, not interactive. So in that case, when the feedback of a person is differing about me, which area should I put it, or shall I take the maximum, or how it has to be done, ma'am?
Okay. So your work area is taken care because people feel that you are interactive at the workplace. But at
Yes.
home space, your family feels that you are not interacting. It can happen, We are playing different roles as a mother, as a sister, as a wife, as a right. We don't play the same role. Now, a lot of people may be very friendly outside, but with their family members, they will not at all talk. They won't respect them. They won't cooperate. They won't talk to them at all. Maybe you feel that so and so is not respecting me. So and so is not listening to me. Right? Then it is better that both of you sit and discuss.
So then this
Which
area.
family matter.
So then this area becomes area of improvement in family relationships.
Yeah, in family
Right?
relationships. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
I
your
got it.
self-awareness as a person, you are accepted everywhere, at home also, at workspace. So do you think that it will change the way that you operate at office also, at home also? Will it give you more peace? Will it give you more happiness?
Yeah, maybe. No, this is just example I asked. It's
No,
not.
no, I'm the example only. Don't worry. I'm not saying that actually you are having that issue. Your example is actually, your question is very good because it can actually happen.
It can happen, yes.
So what will happen is when there is a coordination at home also, when there is a coordination in office also, I think we operate as a better person.
I got it.
Correct? Otherwise, I may be very good at office, but when the moment I reach home, I am one person who doesn't talk to people. I get tensed up. I'm anxious. Right?
Yes.
It may slowly start affecting my health after some time.
Yes, ma'am.
So, ma'am, does it mean that we are consciously or unconsciously making a choice depending on the situation, depending on where we are?
Okay.
Certain qualities we use, certain qualities we don't use. Can that be that way?
I'll tell you. What will happen is not everything that we do is consciously. Like even if you are, say, probably not talking to someone, it is that you are probably unconsciously, there is some fear, there is some anxiety. Like say if you're not talking to your father, because your father probably is a person who shows a lot of anger, and you are scared of him. But this can percolate in your office relationship if you meet your boss, who is also an authority figure of the same type. Remember that. Right?
So it's about
it
my
can be
comfort
unconscious
zone.
behavior. Yeah.
It's about my comfort zone.
Yeah, it's about your comfort zone. Now, anywhere what we are looking at is how do we improve relationship. Ultimately, what is happening here is improving the relationship, whether at workplace or whether at home. It's all about improving. And how do I, we can never change others. That's what we always say, right? So how do I bring the change in my habits, behavior, attitude, communication, that it percolates down, it automatically, touches the other person, and you can see the change in others. We can never change other person, you believe me. That is never going to happen. Only the way we deal with them will make them change. Which doesn't mean that somebody is beating me up, I should be, taking that. I have to protest that. I have to protect myself. So so that is where I put my boundary. No, you cannot beat me. Right? Because the other person may be taking you for granted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask you, in slide number 18, you spoke about the unknown area. If it is unknown to me and unknown to others, how will the arena open?
Okay, so sometimes what will happen is unknown to me and unknown to others, right? When you learn driving, you did not know that you had a driving skill. But the moment you started going for the driving class and started learning, you slowly it was initially what it was. Unconscious incompetence. You were in a place where you didn't even know that you are incompetent or you don't know this skill. When we say incompetent means doesn't that you don't have the ability there, You are not aware that you don't have this skill. But as you slowly start learning, you will get into a place where now I know, okay, that this is a skill and I can learn this skill. So it could
Thank
be
you,
even
ma'am.
about your skill also. It's not necessarily that only about personal characteristic. It could be certain skills also.
Right. Thank you so
But
much.
like I also said, when I'm essentially a trainer. So when I was working, we had organized one particular program. That was the first time that I was taking charge of that complete program. And I did it. So there were a lot of new things we bought, and my boss gave me full, go ahead of whatever new things we were, of course, in consultation, and we were 2-3 people who were coordinating for all those things. Actually, after this was done, when they said you are a good administrator also, that's when I realized, oh, there is something called, being a good administrator. I'm doing these things, but I'm not aware that, I'm a good administrator or I have done this job properly. When somebody told me, I realized, okay, maybe yes, because I organize the things at home also, because as a mother, you are cooking, you are taking care of kids, you are running around. So probably that generally, if you see female, that's a bias, I would say. For female, they would say that, why don't you take an administrative job? And I get very angry on that. Why am I not capable of something else? Right?
Yeah.
So that way.
Thank you,
I
ma'am. That was
became-
very well answered.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much.
I became aware of my own blind spot that I did not know my nose would turn cherry red when I'm angry. It's my daughter,
Okay.
my daughter who pointed out. So now
Okay.
I'm aware. So from blind spot to awareness, it's come.
Okay. I think Padma Shri has
Yeah,
asked something, and
this
in the
kind
meanwhile,
of incompetence,
yeah.
when the mental health practitioner is unable to understand the need of a therapist, another
Understand the need of the
co-therapist,
understand
another
the need of
co-therapist,
therapist.
yeah, and
You are talking
understand the
about
need
between
of
two.
a
Okay. So when you say understand the need
but
of
colleague.
with a colleague, have you put out your need first of all? If you don't put out what is your need, it will remain
Yeah, I'm
unmet.
talking about a mental health. I'm talking about a mental health practitioner, a counselor,
Okay.
or maybe
Okay.
even a social worker. Okay, or
Okay.
a person,
Okay.
a development professional. Okay, somebody
Okay.
who's working in the community.
Yeah.
So along those lines, if you think, what is the need? That there has to be a capacity building service where you're able to provide,
Yeah.
provide your services.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Because you are in that
the
space.
question.
Yeah. The question.
Yeah, question of unknown and unknown areas.
Yeah.
That is something pertaining to my question here. Okay.
Okay. So here it is
two
more
unknown
your
areas, something which has emerged out of the discussion. So two unknown areas, two people talking about interrelationship between two colleagues. So there are two unknown areas. Each has an unknown area, and they are, getting through that.
clashing.
How do we get along? How do you build? How do we build? So how does this unknown area it's through reflection, self-awareness. So unless there is a communication channel, there are so many barriers, psychological barriers, the beliefs, they have preconceived notions for the other person, which have to come down for that, for the, that kind of a mutual understanding to happen. So in that case, the unknown areas open up, isn't it? So
Unknown
unless
areas
there is
will
that
open up
cooperation
only
or
when
willingness
certain.
from the
Yeah. Tell me. The mere
unless there is
when
a
we
willingness
say
of the other person to give, to provide,
okay, to provide
or
or to give. Okay.
for a solution to emerge.
Okay. So what is your doubt here now? See, I'll tell you, when you
When
talk
somebody
about unknown
is
area,
the control nation. Somebody is just down, drilling down and change time.
Okay, now I'll tell you one thing. When see, unknown area is something you suddenly discover either through some job given or when you are communicating with that person or working with that person, which the person was also not knowing, you were also not knowing. Now you find out that this person is having some negative issues. This is where probably that becomes a blind spot also for that person. So you can give a feedback. Now, feedback has to be positive. When you're going to give a feedback which is not positive, then nobody will like it. Remember that. So it has to be a constructive feedback that you have to give to that person in order to ensure that your arena opens up. Unknown can be negative, positive, anything.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I understand you, ma'am. But I would, what still lingers in me is, there's problem of emotional repression, isn't it? I mean, when you anger comes out, I understand as positive. So, but when there is a suppression and one is not able to transform your into a positive, I mean,
so the first thing is that you have to
kind
sit
of
and talk.
destruction.
If you are in a therapy space, you will know that the way we, if there is person is something, there are repressed emotions, probably you will have to get personally there to find out where is the repression emotion coming from. How, whatever I am today is because of my environment, how I was born and brought up, right? Some people will continue to be like that. But some people at particular point of time will think that, okay, this behavior is not acceptable. That was acceptable when I was young, small, and all those things. Today, that is not acceptable. It is better that I change myself and move ahead. Some people may not even realize, and they will continue to be in that form. So it is basically a behavioral issue or attitude issue which is coming. So it is deep down. You will have to work with that person. You will have to talk to that person directly, indirectly, seek someone else support. If you are working in an office space, I'm sure that there will be other person also with somebody's help you can take to talk to this person. Repressed emotions are because of certain things happening in their life. What is repressed emotion? Something which my needs are not met, and that is why it is a repressed emotion. So you will have
Thank
to
you, ma'am.
get down to
Sorry,
that.
I didn't follow you.
So what I'm saying is that you will have to be empathetic with that person. Repressed emotion comes out basically because when the needs are not met, right? Or they don't know how to bring about a change in themselves, or they have certain fear, certain anxiety, certain stress that they are carrying with them. Like I said, if my father is something who has been very strict with me, the moment I see a same person, I see my father there. Okay, so my anxiety will continue there. And to assume that you are right and the other person is wrong is where probably you will not be able to coordinate. So you will also have to seek the feedback from that person. Why is that person behaving like that with you?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I think two more people are waiting to interact with you. And even questions
Thank you,
also
ma'am.
there
Thank
in
you,
chat
ma'am. I think
box.
it's some kind of a game we all play along. So we are all growing together. So it's a wonderful experience.
Okay, someone else, Jyoti and...
Yeah, I think Kalyan Kumar, right?
Yeah.
He wanted. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, tell me.
Madam, fourth quadrant decreases and increases. How do I handle it?
So something which is unknown to you also, unknown to the other person also. Now this unknown is something, it gets revealed at a particular point of time only. Correct? It could be your ability, your character, or your personality. Now when you seek feedback, sometimes the unknown thing about you, can come down there also when you're seeking a feedback. It may be unknown to you, or it is a blind spot for you. Now, unknown to others also it can happen. Then we discover only at a particular point of time. At that point only, you have to see whether it is a positive or negative and take charge accordingly. Because it is unknown to both of you. So only when it is known, That time you will come to know that, okay, whether I should pursue this line or whether I have to change this. If you want to move to open area, then it has to be positive only, right?
And how long it takes?
How long?
It takes.
It depends on you. Right? Because something which has got suddenly revealed, it could be something which is very negative. Then how are you planning to change it? How fast do you want to change it? What is your goal? Where do you want to reach? How is it affecting you? All that you will have to see. And the change has to be, that's what, where is the, now you know that this is there. So it has come to your awareness now. That, okay, this was not known to me.
Maybe I've asked
You have to come out of your
Silly
comfort
question.
zone. Then only you can
You have
came
to
to
come out
know.
of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe I've asked a silly question.
No, there is
Sorry.
nothing silly. There is never nothing silly. Please don't think like that. Hidden area is
No,
what?
when
Something which is not known to you also.
Okay.
no, when
Right.
we ask questions only, we will think. Even resource person also think.
So it is revealed to you at certain point of time, it gets revealed. It is unknown to you, it is unknown to others. But during some communication or event or situation or something, somewhere it is getting revealed. Now, if it is a good thing, great. Automatically our open area is increasing. Now people are willing to accept you more. Oh, this person has got this talent. I can use this talent. But if it's negative, then since you're now aware, you have already come to know that this was unknown to me, now I've come to know. Then it is better that you work on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kalyan Kumar. Jyoti Makar.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful session, ma'am. I have one question. You told us 4 areas. Like,
Yeah.
suppose there is this lady, she's very frank. She has a frank nature, and wherever she goes for a job application, she is negatively evaluated owing to her frank nature. And she is totally different person. So that is posing in her getting the job. So does that come under that unknown area? Because they are perceiving her differently and she's totally differently. The problem that is coming is her frankness.
So it is a blind spot actually. What others perceiving, you may be thinking that you are like this, but others are perceiving you in a different way. So how do you change that? Is how I put it. Like I said, I'll just give you one example. One girl who just went for an interview. She went for an interview with Coca-Cola. Now, how she has communicated is what has landed her this internship. Among 6 people who went there, this girl, they asked her, what do you know about Coca-Cola? She said, I don't drink Coca-Cola, but I am aware of your Kinley water. So they were very happy that she doesn't drink Coca-Cola, but she is aware of Kinley. And the way how she has articulated it, that she backed the contract despite saying that I don't drink Coca-Cola. So I may be frank, but how do I communicate? Am I communicating it rudely, or I'm not articulating it very well, or I'm not able to explain myself very well? That has to be changed. Being frank is good. You are being an authentic person, but then other person is not receiving you like that. So you'll have to find out what you think is actually frank is frank or not.
Okay.
You may be perceiving it as frank. Yeah.
No, my question is, if she is being negatively evaluated and she is not a negative person, they are judging her negatively.
That's how people will judge you. So when people are judging you, your experience is constantly like that. Don't you think that you have to change somewhere something?
That's what I'm asking. Should she work on her body language?
I don't know what is her issue. So that's what I said, whether it is her attitude, whether it is her behavior, whether it is her body language, or whether it's the way she is communicating, or whether some lack of skill. She may be thinking that I'm talking frankly. That may be fine. She may be talking frankly, but how is she putting it across there? So it's like I said, it's not about what I think. In certain places, how others perceive me also comes. So you will have to change there. You can only work on yourself. There is no point in continuously telling that other people are thinking that I am negative. So why don't you change the way you talk, the words that you use, probably your body language, whatever it is, something which is probably people are not able to receive well again and again, then maybe we have to work on others instead of blaming the other person. Maybe she's trying to become a victim person by saying that I am frank, but others are bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am. Yeah.
You.
Thank you, Jyoti. Yeah. Mukundan Achari.
Yeah, madam,
Yes.
you have given a very interesting insight into a new concept. Thank you very much for that. And this is very relevant at this particular point of time because this is the season where people are going to go for appraisal. You know, because March and then April they are going to look for their interview, increments, and all these particular things. This is the time many people change their job. So what I am talking is talking totally from the point of view of an industrial experience. You know, not from the point of view of academics or psychology or counseling or anything. It's purely from the industrial point of view. I think this is a very dynamic concept. There is no static thing, you know, like 50% is hidden, 50% is open, something like that. There
Sir,
has to be
one
system.
sec. Vinita, can you unmute? Sorry, can you mute yourself? Because there is some, yeah, thank you. Yeah, somewhere else also. Yeah.
So this is a
Continue, sir.
dynamic concept.
Yeah, this is a dynamic concept. Yeah.
It keeps changing. The
Yeah.
second thing is there are certain communities and organizations, they just don't follow the openness per se. You know, like take the case of, you know, like Southeast Asia, all these countries. People don't have this type of open concept everywhere. Like whereas in an American system, you can go and tell your boss, hey, you don't know anything. They may listen. But if you go and tell this particular thing in Indian scenario, you are, you know, you are likely to get your axe, you not get an increment. This thing. So you got to be very conscious and what you are doing.
Cultural context have always to be taken care.
Yeah, that has to be taken.
We have to take care of the cultural context.
Organization that has to be taken. Another thing is, you know, like per se, as an individual, we don't have the same type of openness. I mean, hidden this thing, all these particular this thing. You know, we keep changing to different scenario, situation, all these things. Maybe we may have a particular type of policy for a worker. We may have a particular type of policy for an office staff. We may have a particular type of policy for management. So this is a, I mean, this a concept has to be understood very clearly. And you know, I really request people don't go and put it so openly in practice. So as I read recently, you know, like only the straight trees get cut. If you go and talk something very openly in an open situation, maybe you may not get this particular right reaction from the other particular party. So they have to do it with a concept.
Always, yeah, correct. Now, I'll tell you always something. Whichever organization you are working, and if you feel, you know, it is on us. This is the concept. Now, whether the management, if it is not accepting this concept, you cannot do anything about that. But generally, today the organizations are, you know, bringing about all these things. Like I'll tell you about LIC. I recently did a training there. I did this Johari window there itself. The mindset there is entirely different from the public, the private employees who are working in the similar, you know, job profile. Only when I did it, so it's not known to them at all. Now, when I did this, they were actually surprised, you know, that this has got so much of, you know, so the management has not opposed or something like that, but they are not even aware of it. Like you said, it's only a way. There are so many concepts like this. Johari window is one such concept. There are innumerable concepts on communication, on negotiation, on conflict resolution. The idea is to what is acceptable to your organization. Like initially when I joined a particular organization, nothing like this would have happened at all. Like what you said, when I initially joined. But later on, all this slowly, so many things like this were brought in, and definitely it improved the productivity. It improved the way people started seeing each other, communicating to each other. So somewhere it definitely helps. It all depends. Cultural context has to be taken care. Organizational context has to be taken care. But it's not that you can say that it is not used at all. Depends. Yeah. Anybody else?
Ma'am, I joined a organization. I got what you call they have extended my call? Uh,
Probation
yeah,
period.
probation period, and I was working normally only, uh, but they have called one day and they have said you have put your papers. So what uh, what you what should I
I'll whatever is my job profile, whether I have all the skills, whether I have all the knowledge about the product, what is my attitude, all these things, if I develop, and if I personally am growing, if not this company, the other, some other company, but whether I have grown is very important. Whether I have all the knowledge, then you don't have to bother. Then you don't have to bother. If not this company, some other company will recognize you.
Ma'am, इस company में I had all the skills. मैं what you call कौन से quadrant में I had what you call
आप थे, आपको पता नहीं, ऐसा बोल रहे हैं आप जी.
Actually, ma'am,
देखिए,
the
आप कौन
coherence
सी
comes with when the energy levels are contained, isn't it? The brain energy levels. So the right brain, left brain coherence. When there is that kind of samatvam, and then there is the connection going on when your circuitry is firing well. So, and when there is this undue pressure from outside, what happens? Coherence is lost. Coherence is lost when there is undue pressure from outside. So what happens is that you are kind of wrecking a person by the standards.
See, you
when
can't.
There is no acceptance.
Yeah, it can happen in organizations, right? So that's where I have to become very strong. I have to focus on my growth. If I am growing and if I am balanced, if I learn everything properly, whatever is my job profile, whether I'm pakka in that, then I will definitely be accepted somewhere. Because there is going to be partiality, there is going to be somebody gets promoted. This is a very common thing in private organization. You just cannot do anything about it. But if you are focusing on your growth, on your skills, your attitude, on how balanced you are, in the terms of how do you react in a stress situation, when you're anxious. So when you are to become a properly balanced, a lot of people say that if I have to be if I'm practical, I should not be a spiritual person, because then I will not be practical. I think if you inculcate little spirituality, you will become a better person to handle any situation. For that, you don't have to sit and pray to the God 24 hours, right? But then when you start looking within and when you focus on yourself, the doors will automatically open. And when I have to vibrate at a higher level. How do I vibrate at a higher level? When I am strong in so many things, when I'm strong in
Sorry,
my
I
thoughts,
disagree with you. It's not I. No, when you're talking about cooperation and harmony, peace, that's what spirituality is. So when we are trying to work as a group,
I have to be in harmony with
method.
Yeah, but then everybody need not agree to your you want to be harmony, but the other person does not want to be harmonious. So do you want to fight, or how do you handle that situation is what is most important. Okay,
yeah,
what is your vibration?
Out of it?
How do you feel? How you become strong yourself? You cannot change the other person. You have to change within yourself only. Did you react properly? Did you play a victim role? How do you know that? So we don't know about the other person. To say that I am only right, the other person is wrong, is where actually I am trying to put the blame on others. And I don't want to accept. Take responsibility for every action of yours. And then only you will be able to find out what is wrong. If I keep putting the blame on others, then I'm never going to change, or I'll never evolve. So take responsibility for all it. The moment you think that I am responsible for this action. Then only you will go into finding out why this has happened or how I can set it right. If you are going to put
So isn't that
the blame on others,
victimization?
if you are going to, it is what?
Isn't that victimization when you're blaming yourself and then
No. I didn't say blame yourself. No, listen. Don't blame others doesn't mean that I'm blaming myself. When I say don't blame others and take responsibility for your action is you don't have to go into guilt or blame yourself. Find out we are all human beings and we can do right wrong. We are not doing everything all right only. So how can I change it? How can I better do it in a better way? That is my growth. How do I act in a better way, speak in a better way? Or what are my feelings? When I evolve like that, how do you become, what is spirituality? Look within only. If I'm going to be in a blame game, and if I don't take responsibility for my actions, I will never grow up and I'm never going to be peaceful at all. There are others who are going to be disturbing us, but then what is my capacity in handling my emotion? That is what is most important.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a wonderful session. Usually we will close the session by 7:30, but today it was a wonderful session. Everyone is engaged and they are interacting with you. I think with your permission, we can conclude today's session, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for all
please
the
do
comments.
more sessions in our group, ma'am, in upcoming months.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Can we take
friends.
a picture, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I will share. Or you want to more pictures? You can
No.
take
You
now.
can share me. You can share me.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, friends. It was a wonderful.
Thanks, ma'am. Also a picture, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, friends.
Thanks
We
a lot,
thank in
Shamla ma'am
association
and
with
Sunanda ma'am.
Yellow Pond team and Forest Creative Arts from Punjab, then Sri Dipti Counseling Center from Hyderabad, Clever Learning Center, Hyderabad, Sirisha Counseling Center, Kozhikode, then Mind Style Hub from Calcutta. We thank each and everyone, friends. Yeah, we'll meet next week.
Thank you
Bye,
so
friends.
much. Thanks to all the organizers and all the participants. Thank you so much. Bye.